Hello everybody, it's Infinity Break, coming at you today with yet another mod review. Now you guys know what Skooma is, right? Yeah, you know, that addictive substance that everybody within the Elder Scrolls games seems to know what it is. That one thing that basically becomes the giant meme of the Elder Scrolls. Besides the guards, the sweet rolls, we've got Skooma, which is one of the biggest and most iconic drinks, ironically one of the deadliest within the lore, yet still one of the most memorable from the fanbase. Yes, that's right, this drink, this, I suppose you could say drug, is a very popular yet very dangerous substance within the Elder Scrolls universe, and today we are going to be discussing and looking at a mod that allows you to not only make it, but sell it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, today's mod is going to be Become a Skooma Dealer by MimiTheAlchemist and ported over to Skyrim Special Edition by MissChevus. That's right, there are two versions of this mod that you can get your hands on right now, one for the original Skyrim and one for the new Skyrim Special Edition. So go ahead and check it out, links will be down in the description of this video, and I hope you guys actually enjoy this as much as I enjoyed it. Because this mod that we're getting into today is actually very simple, but still pretty effective for what it's trying to do. If we're looking at this mod as a whole, the mod basically allows you to not only make multiple types of skooma as well as sleeping tree sap, but allows you to sell it to multiple people throughout the land of Skyrim. Multiple holds have multiple people that you can sell to, and most static NPCs that don't really have that many major important plots in the story, and sometimes even major important plots in the story, are able to actually have skooma sold to them. I really do kind of like this, but at the same time I feel like it's kind of a little bit lore-breaking to be able to sell skooma to someone like Delphine, or a Jarl, or someone like that, when in reality it should have been more beggars and poorer people, as well as maybe, you know, kind of higher-end nobility that were just kind of looking to experiment and you had to convince them. Which this mod does have the ability to convince people, but it's not quite as well as also not really that advanced when it comes to the writing. Most of your lines are pretty basic, most of the things you'll say are pretty basic, nothing is really voice acted, obviously, as you're working with standard NPCs that can be found around all of Skyrim that already have voice actors assigned to them, so there's not really a lot that can, you know, really be looked at and say that this is impressive, but for the most part, for what, like I said, you're trying to do, for what the mod is trying to achieve, it does achieve it. I think it's kind of interesting because it does add a couple of different aspects or a couple different layers to the mod that most mods don't have. A couple of different perks are required to really get into the heavier doses and the heavier versions of skooma that you can craft, as well as being able to actually sell specific things to specific people. You have to find the right person that's willing to buy the right stuff. And it's actually quite profitable. I do think that the money that you get from this, mostly on average you can get, I remember selling skooma to someone can get you about 200 septims, and I believe selling sleeping tree sap can net you about 250, so you get more than the average worth of the actual skooma itself, but the skooma that you're making does require a lot of ingredients, such as nightshade. Obviously you require things like moon sugar, sometimes things like fire salts, frost salts, just different types of, you know, things like even human hearts, human flesh, blood. I mean, like, it gets pretty dark depending upon which versions of skooma you're going for, but at the same time, I still think it's kind of cool. You can make things like regular skooma, double distilled skooma, red water skooma, sleeping tree sap, Balmora blue, Panacea skooma, and blood skooma. I don't think that you can become addicted to any of these, though there are mods out there that allow you to actually become addicted. I feel like mods like that would pair perfectly with this type of mod, as seeing as you are a skooma dealer and you can make your own skooma, it is actually kind of interesting, the concept of you possibly adding in the ability to become addicted, as well as maybe even changing the effects of skooma altogether, as from what I can tell there really is no, I wouldn't see any issue with any other mods that could conflict with the skooma, as long as, you know, you don't see anything that changes, you know, any other mod that allows you to craft skooma as well. If you get a mod that does change the effect of skooma, I don't think it would actually conflict with this mod, as you're just simply now able to craft the object. You are not able to change the effects. It doesn't do anything like that. It just allows you to finally create skooma like you've always wanted to. To create skooma and other addictive substances, you will have to go to a cooking pot or some other cooking station, and then you can actually craft the skooma from there. I was expecting it to be from an alchemy bench, but I guess it kind of makes sense considering alchemy benches function a lot differently than just gathering ingredients and putting them together. You do require, at least when it comes to cooking, actual ingredients, so it would make sense for them to be there. Overall, I think this mod was pretty okay. I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest, but for, like I said, what it's trying to do, it's just a very simple skooma dealing mod, and I feel like if you want a mod that can do this, this one is pretty good and would pair well with other mods that allow you to basically just make skooma more important, as in base Skyrim, skooma doesn't really have any importance, and I don't understand why Bethesda doesn't delve into that. There are obviously a lot of dungeons like the Redwater Den that do delve into the concepts of what skooma does to people, but I really hope that like in the next Elder Scrolls or in the future when it comes to the next Elder Scrolls project, that we will see them at least focus a little bit more on what skooma does to people, maybe give you more options with it, really give you more options to roleplay, because as you can see, people are making mods on this, so why wouldn't they? Anyway, I think this is going to wrap up this review for today. I did enjoy this mod. I think it could use a little bit more work, but honestly, considering the fact that the mod author hasn't really worked on this in a while, and this was just ported over, if I'm not mistaken, like a year or two ago, and hasn't really been touched up since then, I wouldn't expect too much more from this one. I would definitely recommend checking it out, though. I feel it can actually have a little bit more value, since it actually does add more to a roleplay playthrough, as it does give value to skooma, whereas skooma in the regular game isn't that valuable. It doesn't do anything, it's basically a stamina potion, and I didn't like that. So yes, I would recommend this because I feel like it just makes skooma a little bit more valuable and allows you to actually craft objects in skooma and other such addictive substances like sleeping tree sap in the game. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Both links will be down in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed today's review. I hope I see you guys in the next video, and this has been Infinity, reminding you all to say it with me now. Play well, eat well, and of course live well, friends. I hope you guys go out there and strive to break infinity, and I hope you guys have a nice day, night, evening, wherever and whenever you're at. Take it easy, y'all.